everybody, Steve Stine here. I've had a lot of requests for Hello by Adele, and trying to keep things fairly simple. I've had a lot of people that have asked, can you show me a really easy way of playing this? And most certainly, this is a pretty straightforward song to do. What we're going to do is we're going to put our capo on the first fret, and we're going to be using basically E minor, C, G, and D. We're going to use them in different orders, but those are basically the 4 chords that we're going to be using. Now, please remember, as you're learning songs, if you play a chord differently than I do, if you play C, for instance, like this instead of this, don't sweat it. Don't worry about those kind of things. The most important thing here is that you learn how the chord changes go, how the song structure goes, you know, when do you play this, when do you play the verse, the chorus, whatever, and developing a groove for the song. Now with this, what we're going to do is we're going to start from the very beginning with the verse. And there's very minimal strumming happening in the beginning. We're going to play E minor, G, D, C. Now the big thing about this song is that every other chord, the second and the fourth chord, are jumped or pushed, which means you come in a little bit early. So instead of going E, G, D, C, you're going to go E, G, D, C, E, G, D, C. And that's all you're going to be doing for the verses. You're going to be playing E minor to G to D to C with that push on the second and fourth chords, which is the G and the C. Okay? So if you want to strum some more on them, you certainly could. But again, strumming is always a kind of an issue for people because everybody's so different on the way that they like to strum the guitar. If you're just starting off and you don't know a lot about strumming, don't try and make it complex. Just... And if that's even hard, just go back to strumming once per chord. If you're pretty good with strumming, remember the underlying groove here, especially as the song kicks in a little bit, is this. So you're going to create from this speed. It's just in the very beginning, there isn't much going on. As the song kicks in, you'll get a bit more. So that's what you're going to be doing for the verse. Okay, and then about 55 seconds in, we hit what we'll call the pre-chorus. And that's where she says, there's such a difference. And right there, what you're going to do is you're going to play E minor to D, to a G with B in the bass, and then we're going to play E minor, D, C. Now again, if you play C different than me, or sometimes I don't even play it the same way, I'm just playing the song and I kind of play it differently, but the first part is E minor, then you're going to go to D, then you're going to go to G with B in the bass. So what happens is you're going to make, you can do this a number of different ways, but an easy way to do this is if you're used to a 4-finger G, which is a real important one to do, you're going to leave the 2 fingers on the bottom of the G chord. You're going to take your first finger and place it on the 5th string at the 2nd fret, and that's relative to the capo here, and you just strum the bottom 5 strings. And then what I'm going to do is, since I'm on this G/B, which means G with B in the bass, then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to a C add 9 by putting my middle finger on the 3rd fret of the 5th string, again relative to the capo, and then my first finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. So I'm going E, D, and then G/B to the C like that. And then the second time around, you're going to play E minor to D to C. Now again, if you'd rather go E, D, C, that's just fine too. It doesn't make any difference. Most importantly is what feels most comfortable to you when you're playing, so you can actually start playing a song and enjoying it versus, well, you know, somebody said I was supposed to play it this way. Just enjoy the song, right? If you want to change some things about it, my job is not to try and figure out exactly every little nuance of what the voicings are for the piano and then try and show it to you. I just want you to have some fun with it and just play. So we've got E minor, D, and then G/B to C, and then E minor, D, C. Okay? Then after that, we're going to move into the chorus, and the chorus is E minor, C, G, and D. So you're going E. And again, the second and fourth chords are jumping or being pushed in all of the sections, including this one as well. Okay, so you have E, C, G, D. So it's the same as the verse, it's just the chords are in a different order, but the rhythm is still going to be the same. But by this time, you really could be strumming. If you've got some strumming capability, this is a great place to be doing it. Now, after we come off that, we're going to head back into the verse, back into the pre-chorus, back into the chorus again. We're going to do all three of those again. And then what happens, I'm not sure, I think I've got about 3 minutes and 27 seconds in, somewhere around there. It goes into a little interlude, okay? And right there what happens is you're going to be playing E minor, C, D, G. So now we're going to invert the chords again. We're going E, C, but this time D, G. E, C, D, G. E, C, D, G. And then we're going to go E, C, D. And then we hold it. Okay? So that happens right around 3 minutes and 27 seconds, somewhere around there. And then after that, we're going to go back into the chorus again. So it's E minor, C, G, D one more time. And we're going to do that almost to the end. At the very end of the song, it goes back into the verse again. Okay, so as with many of my videos, what would be great for you to do is, if you don't have it, pause this video, grab a pencil and a piece of paper, and let's write down the song structure, what we're going to do, in what order we're going to do it in, and then next to those sections, we're going to write down how the chord progressions go, okay? So the song structure is going to be verse, pre-chorus, chorus, and then verse, pre-chorus, chorus again, and then we'll call it an interlude, and then chorus, and then verse. That's how the song's going to go. That's the entire makeup of the song. So as long as we know what's happening in the verse, the pre-chorus, and the chorus, and the interlude, we just plug the parts in. Okay? So one more time to make sure you have this, okay? Verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, interlude, chorus, verse. Now, the end verse, of course, we could call it an outro and all sorts of different things, but that's the structure that you're going to play. So whenever you see verse written, you're going to play E minor, G, D, C. And remember, you're jumping or pushing the second and fourth chords. When the pre-chorus comes up, that's where you're going E minor, D, G with B in the bass, and then C, and that looks like this. And again, you're jumping the second and fourth chords in that part as well. And then it ends with E, D, C. Okay? So the entire pre-chorus is E, D, G with B in the bass, C, and then it goes E, D, C. And remember, if you'd rather play C like this, it doesn't make any difference, whatever you'd rather do. Okay, then we head to the chorus. So anytime you play the chorus, you're going to play E minor, C, G, D. Again, pushing or jumping the second and fourth chords. So now that's 90% of your song, 95% of your song. The only thing you have left is the little interlude part, which is the same as the chorus, just a different order. You're going to go E minor, C, D, G. So the last two chords get flipped around. So you've got C, just like before, but then D, G. And you're still pushing the second and fourth chords. Okay? So as you approach songs, it's always nice to figure out a roadmap of how the song structure goes, and then just plug in those chord changes as needed, And that way, you don't have to look at it as a 3-page thing, because it's really so much easier than that. So in the beginning, you memorize your chord changes. You memorize the song structure. You start plugging in those parts as needed. By what I do is I just listen to the song over and over and over, kind of visualizing or looking at that song structure that I've written out and the chord changes. I listen to it. I make a connection to the song. Then once I've got that, then I'm going to start playing along however I can. If I can't strum a lot, I'm going to make the chords and focus on my left hand more. And once I get better at that, then I'm going to start figuring out how I want to strum the song. Do I want to reflect the dynamics of the actual song? Like, for instance, you might like to play and sing at the same time. And so it's possible that the way that you strum is going to be more kind of along the lines of the way that you're singing versus the actual song. In this case, the song starts very quiet, just this. But maybe if you were going to perform this song and you're singing along, you might start off by doing some strumming right away. You want to keep it interesting for your listener as well. So don't really, get all hung up in that sort of thing. The most important thing is how does the song structure go? How do the chords go? Do I know all of that? I've got a capo at the first fret. And then I'm going to go in there and I'm going to start figuring out how I would like to strum it. So hopefully that helps you a little bit in playing the song. It's a great song. It's fairly straightforward to do. So if you have any requests, make sure you let me know. Otherwise, I'll just keep throwing these songs out and hopefully they help you a little bit. So take care and have a great day.